Hello. I am here to help everybody who is in need of getting out of their creative funk. I'm here to help us make an idea and get it out there, okay? If you want to create a content video, a stream, a um reel, whatever it is that you want to make, if you want to start it, here is what I can help you with, okay? I can give you 3 questions to help you understand how you can turn your ideas and your everyday experiences into content. And not everything has to become content, and not every lived experience is needs to be documented, is what I'm saying. Living is sacred by itself, but if you're a person who has been wanting to share parts of their life online, here's 3 questions for you that I can help you with. Okay, my first question is, what do you like? What do I like? Okay. My second question is, what stories do you have to tell? What stories do I have to tell? And how can you merge the two? Okay. How can we merge both of them? And that is basically how we merge interest with lived experience and our perspective. And that is the important part of this, because we don't have to manufacture a niche, and we don't have to like make something like, from out of the ground. We have things that are already valuable. So, yeah, let's start with the first question. The 3 pieces of this. The first piece is, what do you like? What do you like to spend time on? What are your genuine interests, your curiosities, the aesthetics you're drawn to, your hobbies, your obsessions, things like that. Things that you naturally research are really just foundational. They're part of the way you live your life. And that's where we're starting. Now, if you're thinking, I don't really have like something certain I do, there's something you like to talk about, okay? Unless you just go across this earth not talking about anything, boring and drab, you might be an NPC, okay? I fear you might be an NPC. But for the rest of us, even if you are an NPC, there's something, okay? NPCs are always fixated on something. They're always somewhere doing something. Anyway, so yeah, for me, if you wanted some examples, mine overall is creativity, but I like making things with my hands. That's like, I like crochet, I like to garden, I like to paint. I have paintings on my wall in the background. And I like to make my own food, just simple stuff like that. That is part of your experience. That's where you can start with creating an idea with a video, because you know I think overall just having some anchor to talk around, or even if that's what you want to talk about, you can talk about it, but even if you're doing it, you don't necessarily have to talk about doing that thing. That's the uniqueness of it. So yeah, um i would I wouldn't have two random things going on, but this is how we bridge them, okay? So you have the thing, right? You have the hobby, you have the thing that you're fixated on, that you have already experienced. Now, what stories do you have to tell? That's the second piece. What has happened in your actual life that gives those interests meaning, okay? So like for me, I said I like gardening. It's not just that I like gardening, but it's like I can turn that to say I'm 24 and I'm learning how to become a woman that can grow her own food and sustain her future family with food that grows out of the ground. You know? Like something like that that makes the story interesting, okay? And it depends on what you enjoy in life. So I'm saying that because your interests and your ideas might not be as like broad or as like big as that, if you think it's broad and big. Whatever it is to you, it's interesting, okay? It's your life. I'm telling you. There's gonna be somebody that is gonna be interested. You just have to deliver it authentically. And that's what I'm doing here, honestly. No edits. I'm showing up on camera as I am, and I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm having fun. I don't know about y'all so far. I'm having fun. Yeah. So Now, if I wanted to bring in the fact that I like crochet, instead of saying, I just like crochet as like a general thing, I could say that I'm learning to make beautiful items or like clothes with my own hands instead of constantly consuming from other brands like that are like mass produced, something like that. And that's really why I like to crochet. I like to make clothes and wearables and things like that. That's exactly why I started. Yeah, so that's where your experience and your like hobby becomes something that you can turn into like a personal brand. And not that you're trying to like always capitalize off of this, but if you want to, this is for people that are interested in that, like wanting to turn your everyday basic life into something that you get paid for, not because you want your life to be a spectacle or anything like that. It's really just because if you can get paid to be yourself online and you want to do that, why not? That's what I think. Yeah. So, um when you're learning something like this, it's really just it's really good to keep an open mind and just be nuanced about the entire situation. There is no specific way things are supposed to happen. Like, there's no specific way you're supposed to release a video. Like, it's all developed in a personal journey. So, like, that's why it's called a personal brand, because it's yours to develop personally as you live your life. And I know that might be different from how people have, like, oh my gosh, I have to sneeze. Not now. Now we saying not now, it's my body's functions. My body's functions. My body's functions. Anyway, so yeah. It's very nuanced, is what I was just trying to say. So all your limitations, all the things that you think you can't do, you really can. It just takes time to break down those walls and believe in yourself. So yeah. So the third piece of this would be, how can you merge the two? So how can you merge your interest in that thing and the story you have to tell around it? Even though I said earlier, you might not have to tell the same story. It might not have to be about the same thing. It's really about the person experiencing it, okay? That's how you can merge it, okay? That's the content. You take something you're already interested in and you filter it through your life, your experiences, your questions, your perspectives, and your growth. All of that. Suddenly, now you have an interest, and now you have a story, and now you have meaning to the story, and now you have content. And that is simply what people look for in a video, and things that people want to spend their time on. They look for meaning in it. So that's really the reason why your content does not have to be boxed into one niche. The meaning you bring to something is the niche. Okay? Yeah. So for me, I made a farmers market vlog, and it's not your average farmers market vlog. I turned it into a field trip for myself to learn about creative strategy, and I made a video about it. Like, that's very unique, and you don't see anything like that. That's how you have to approach this. You are the niche, is what I keep saying and what everyone keeps saying. I feel like I've heard that a lot recently. So yeah, the unifying element is the person experiencing the thing, okay? And if you have a life, if you have interests, if you have experiences, then you have something to turn into something that people can experience with you, is what I'm saying. That is personal branding. That is how you create content. That's how you create a person with a story that people want to watch. And yeah, so your life doesn't have to become content 24/7. Definitely like take hold of that, because you get to have a private life, okay? But when you do want to create, you don't have to just sit there and stare at yourself in the mirror, like asking, what should I post, or what should I even do today? You can ask, what am I into right now? What am I experiencing right now? That could be mentally, emotionally, financially, um, I was about to say scholastically, academically, whatever. And yeah, like, what are you learning? What are you questioning? What are you noticing? Where are all of these things coming together? And that is how you get the creative bones of what you need to create a video, which is all you need, honestly, because this is where we come into the part about authenticity. Once you have those, like, the structure, that creative structure that is very minimal, basically like a skeleton, your person, your authenticity is what makes the rest of everything come together. That is how we experience life before we make content, okay? Because the goal really isn't to make content, for me at least. The goal is to experience life and to document the interpretation of my life, you know? And that's why we don't have to constantly hunt for ideas and stuff like that. When life is naturally happening, it will just come naturally. So, yeah, go live, pay attention to things, have interests, make things, try things, learn things, feel things. Yeah, and tell the story. That's when content becomes the documentation, okay? And the interpretation of a life being lived. And rather than performing, in front of the camera and creating a persona rather than a personal brand, you get to show up on the algorithm as yourself, as your authentic self. And that is completely interesting to me personally. And I am always going to find someone who shows up like that interesting. So I'm here to make those people more normal, okay? My name is Aliciana Alexandria. I just wanted to drop that gem for y'all today. And yeah, I do a lot of different things on this channel and on my other social medias. I am a streamer, I'm a gamer, I am a creative strategist. I do freelancing. I am starting my channel off right now because I am it's time, okay? It's time. I've been sitting on my ideas for too long. I'm magnetic, I'm interesting, and it's time for me to get out there. So yeah, I just wanted to drop my knowledge on y'all and inspire you. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for getting here with me. I don't know what that was. I just I just think I'm proud of myself for showing up today. And yeah, I hope you're proud of yourself too when you show up. All right. Have a good one, guys.